So number 9, give it a read, attempt the problem, and pause the video. All right, so welcome back. Hopefully you were able to get started with this question relatively easily. Okay, so for the period, you need to just recall that the period is equal to 2 pi over b for sine or cosine graphs. Not for tan though, for tan just pi over b. And let's see, the period is, well, here is, find the period. So here is b, this value, pi over 6. Okay, so period is equal to 2 pi over 6. And that's the same thing as 2 pi divided by pi over 6, or 2 pi times 6 over pi. Okay, and pi's will just cancel, and it's 12. Okay, so that's part A. B, the function has a local max at this point and a local min at this point. Find the value of b. So hopefully you realize that b, well, first of all, is this right there, which is the principal axis, meaning it's like where the sine curve, the middle part of the horizontal line that goes through the middle of the sine curve. Okay, so because we have the max and the min point, we know that it has to be the average of these y coordinates. Okay, so b, we can just do 21.8, the average, just add them up, plus 10.2 divided by 2. Okay, and what is this here? 32 divided by 2, which is 16. Okay, so that's the value of b. That would go into here. Part 2, hence find the value of f of 6. Okay, so of course we're just going to have to substitute x equals to 6 into this equation. Okay, I'm definitely going to use a calculator here. Let's just get a new page maybe. Okay, so what is the 5.8 times sine? Now, already this needs to be in radians. Let's just change that. Okay, and it is sine pi over 6. So pi over 6. X. Oh, actually, wait. What's x? X is 6. Okay, so 6 plus 1, and then plus b, which was 16. Yes. Which is 13.1. Okay, so maybe I should have wrote in this one that b is equal to 16 instead of the equation b equals all of that. Okay, and then now we have f at 6. I mean, you could, I guess, show that work of substituting 6 in, but I'm just going to go straight to the answer here, which is 13.1. Okay, so I would, if you want the method mark, you should substitute 6 into this value and show that step, okay, like on your paper for a method mark. Because if you make a silly mistake after that point, then you'll likely lose 2 marks, which I assume is what this part of the question's out of. Okay, so the next part, a second function g is given by this, and the function g passes through these points. So find the value of p and the value of q. Okay, so in this one, let me just write it down here, C. Okay, so of course these are your x and y values, so this will get substituted into here, and that would make g of x be 2.5. So you technically have 2 equations. Now in this case I would get the method marks because it looks quite ugly what we need to do here, and it's out of 5 marks, so definitely you want to be showing your work here. 2.5 is equal to p times sine 2 pi over 9, and x is 3 minus 3.75 plus q. Okay, so that's one equation. Now we have to use the same second point and do the same thing. Okay, so this one is 15.1 equals p times sine 2 pi over 9, and x is 6 minus 3.75 plus q. Okay, so in this, clearly we can see that this is very ugly. what I'm hoping you realize is that, and sorry, this is just taking a second to get caught up to sync, but in any case, you have two equations here and two unknowns, okay? So two equations, two unknowns, like you hopefully know that that's a system of equations, okay? To do this by hand would simply not be feasible. We'll need to use a calculator here. And obviously the easiest way is a system of equations. So 3 algebra, 2 solve system of linear equations, and I'll change it to P and Q just so it matches. Okay, it's just a matter of writing this down. 2.5 equals P times sine 2 pi over 9, 3 minus 3.75 plus, plus Q is out here. Okay, now what I would do, let's see if hopefully this allows us to copy it. I'm going to copy it differently. Let's try it this way. This is the way you should be doing it. Control C. For some reason, it's not working from my laptop. There you go, but that works. Okay, so Control C, then Control V just right there. Okay, so we don't have to rewrite everything. 15.1, and this one changes to a 6. So hopefully this is written properly. Maybe double check it quickly. And here we get P is equal to 8.4, and Q is equal to 6.7. Okay, so that is that. And the last question here, find the value of x for which the functions have the greatest difference. Okay, so let me read that one more time. The functions. Okay, so we only have two functions here, f of x and g of x. Now, conceptually, I'd say this is quite a difficult question, maybe for some of you to understand. Clearly, if you think about if you're graphing two different curves, you just want to see what the biggest difference is, okay? And if you're just looking just by using like your eyes, like it could, well, obviously using your eyes, but it can just be difficult just to like look at a graph and try to get that answer. Okay, so there is a technique that you can do. Actually, you know what? I might just, let's just get this open. Okay, let's just write this down before I say too much and it gets confusing. Times sine, and actually I probably should just copy and paste from before, but I'm already here, so I'm just going to do this. Pi over 6 x plus 1, and it's not that, plus I think it was 16. Okay, and the other one, well, we just got P was 8.4, so let's do tab 8.4 times sine 2 pi over 9, and this was x minus 3.75 plus, and I forgot what Q was, I think 6.7, yep, 6.7. Okay, so we have that now. So we have two of them. Okay, so first of all, let's look at something here. The domain is from 0 to 10. So first of all, let's just change this. So 0, double click this, and then change this to 0. This is already at 10. Okay, clearly we have to move up a little bit because we can't even see the other one. Okay, so let's just put this at, I don't know, 26 and see where that takes us. Okay, so now we have to look at the difference. I think it looks like it's going to be maybe from here to there. It's kind of hard to tell though, or maybe from this maximum to there. So it's hard to see, right? And you don't want to spend too much work having to find multiple points on each graph. So what you could do is find the absolute, like using absolute values, the distance between these, okay? So if you subtract like this function, one from the other using absolute value, it should work, okay? So the absolute value, let me just find, hopefully I'm using the right, I can probably just type ABS, but that's not what I wanted. Where is it? Oh, this one. Absolute value, where are you? Here you are. Okay, so absolute value, and I lost it, great. Let's try that again. Okay, And now we want to subtract one function from the other. Okay, so let's just call upon the variable, the first one, f1 of x minus f2 of x. Okay, now you can see clearly where it is. Okay, so it's not actually common that I want to get rid of the other functions, or hide them, but I'll do that here. Okay, so now we only have to worry about this. Now I think it's clear looking at this that this max value is what we're looking for. Okay, so let's just go to menu, 6, analyze graph, maximum. Okay, and we're looking for the x value, I believe is what it's saying. Find the value of x for which the functions have the greatest difference. Well, that's what it will be. So it's 1.64 to 3 significant figures. Okay, it's only worth 2 marks, so I don't think you need to graph that. Okay, I would just state what we did, which was the absolute value of f of x minus g of x. Okay, find the max on that. Find max. And it's when x equals 1.64. Okay, however, it's not a bad idea to maybe sketch it if, like, let's see what the mark scheme says. Attempt to use this to find maximum difference. Okay, so if you just wrote it, I think it might be okay, but if you want to play it safe, maybe it doesn't hurt to just have a quick sketch of something looking like, I don't know, like, well, this is a really bad sketch. It should not be below the x-axis. Okay, but in any case, find that max. If you just do that really quickly and indicate that, well, that's definitely a clear method mark. Okay, yeah, and that should be it.